Bienvenidos a la Alianza Hollywood Kids. Welcome, I'm Maria and this is
George.
And we are very happy to have you here.
Everybody's invited.
Today we will have fun activities, plus we're gonna learn more about our God. ¿Están listos para comenzar? Great, but before we start, George is gonna lead us in prayer. So let's put our hands together and close our eyes.
Thank you, God, for this day. Thank you for the food. Thank you for goodness for my friends and family. Keep us safe and protected. In the name of Jesus, amen.
Amen.
What time is it? Worship time!
When the world is hurting, when life is so confusing, I am sure of one thing, God's by my side, yeah. When I'm feeling lonely and I start to worry, I know God, you're near me and you're always by my side, yeah. And I can lift my hands up to you, I can raise my voice and sing. You are who I put all hope in. I will trust you in everything. There is hope, there is hope in the Lord. He is with me each day. I will trust in the day. I have hope, I have hope in the Lord. He is mighty and good. There is hope in the Lord. When the world is hurting, when life is so confusing, I am sure of one thing, God's by my side, yeah. When I'm feeling lonely and I start to worry, yeah, I know God, you're near me and you're always by my side, oh. And I can lift my hands up to you, I can raise my voice and sing. You are who I put all hope in. I will trust you in everything. There is hope, there is hope in the Lord. He is with me each day. I will trust in the day. I have hope, I have hope in the Lord. He is mighty and good. There is hope in the Lord. There is hope, there is hope in the Lord. He is with me each day. I will trust in the day. I have hope, I have hope in the Lord. He is mighty and good. There is hope in the Lord. There is hope, there is hope in the Lord. He is with me each day. I will trust in today. I have hope, I have hope in the Lord. He is mighty and good. There is hope in the Lord. There is hope, yeah. There is hope in the Lord. He is with me each day. I will trust in the day. I have hope, I have hope in the Lord. He is mighty and good. There is hope in the Lord. Yeah. There is hope in the Lord. Yeah, yeah. There is hope in the Lord.
What time is it? Story time!
So part of God's story is about the time that David fought Goliath. And it begins like this. David was the youngest of 8 brothers. His job was being a shepherd, which meant he spent all day in a field watching sheep eat and roll around in the grass. Meanwhile, some of his brothers were off with the Israeli army preparing for war against the Philistines. The Philistines were one of the toughest armies the people of Israel had to fight. So one day, David was taking food to his brothers because his dad asked him to. But when he got there, his brothers accused him of coming so he could watch the fight instead of the sheep. Since David knew in his heart he was just obeying his dad, he didn't mind being misunderstood. Anyway, while David was there, he saw a huge Philistine man, more than 9 feet tall, stepped onto the field between the two armies. He was wearing a thick helmet and armor and carrying huge weapons. His name was Goliath, and he was definitely used to being the winner. David found out that Goliath had been stepping onto the field like this every morning for the past 40 days and saying, "Give me a man and let us fight each other." But nobody from Israel was brave enough to fight him, even the king. Well, David didn't like that this giant was intimidating the Israelites. After all, they were God's special family, and because God was with the Israelites, they could have the courage in any situation. So David, who wasn't even a soldier, told the king, "I'll fight against him." Now the king thought David was too small, but he really wanted somebody to fight Goliath, so he gave in. And David knew he wasn't strong enough to beat Goliath by himself. But he believed that God would be with him, so he said, "The Lord will rescue me from the hand of this Philistine." The king hoped that David was right. He even had his own weapons and armor put on David, but they didn't fit him. So, David decided to go into battle in his regular clothes. That's how sure he was that God would help him anyway, David went to the nearby stream and chose 5 smooth stones to use in his slingshot. Then he walked onto the battlefield to meet the massive Goliath. When Goliath saw how wimpy David looked, he was furious. He thought he'd get to fight the Israel's strongest warrior. He said to David, "Am I a dog that you come at me with sticks? I'll give your flesh to the birds and the wild animals." David might have looked like a wimp, but he was actually really brave. In fact, he was so brave that when he was taking care of the sheep, he fought off bears and lions, because God helped him protect the sheep. David knew that God would help him now. David said, "You come at me with a sword, but I come at you with the name of the Lord Almighty." He was explaining to Goliath that God was more powerful than anything. He also added that he would feed Goliath's flesh to the birds, which made the giant even more mad. Then David took a stone, put it in the slingshot, and slung it at Goliath. Goliath didn't even have a chance to swing his sword because the stone hit him right in the forehead, and it hit him so hard he face planted straight into the ground. Nobody could believe it. And when the Philistine army realized that Goliath was dead, they all started running away. The Israelites chased the Philistines, shouting loudly. They had won. God used David, who was just an average kid, to rescue his people. And that's the story of David and Goliath.
What time is it? Free time!
Hola niños, soy Julian, and I would like to share with you today's phrase. La batalla es de Jehová. The battle is Jehovah's. Now here's a verse to remember. I'm going to repeat this verse 3 times. Salmos 27:3, Psalms 27:3. Even if war breaks out against me, I will still trust in God. Again, even if war breaks out against me, I will still trust in God. One more time. Even if war breaks out against me, I will still trust in God. Take this verse and try to remember it.
What time is it? Experiment time!
Hola niños, soy Marisol, and today we are going to make an orange experiment. ¿Están listos? You will need 3 items. A bowl with water, an orange with a peel, and an orange without a peel. So, please, pay close attention to this experiment. Now, this orange have a peel. That means that it's protected. So let's see what happens when you put this orange on the water. You see? is protected. Why? Because they have a peel. Now, let's try the orange that it has no peel to see what happens. Oops, it sink. Why it sink? Because it's not protected with a peel. We can be very courageous with the shield of the faith, just like David was courageous. He believed that God gave him the victory. Podemos ser muy valientes con el escudo de la fe, así como David fue muy valiente. David creyó que Dios le daría la victoria. Así, amiguitos, recuerden estar siempre protegidos por la armadura de la fe. Será hasta la próxima. Compartan este experimento con sus amiguitos.
What time is it?
All right, we're gonna teach them how to march now. We are march and teach them how.
I don't know how.
Here we go, I teach you. Oh, left foot first. Put your left foot first. Put your left foot first. Put your left foot first. Oh, put your right foot next. 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 Now both. And left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, and left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, and left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, and left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, and halt. The shield of faith and breastplate of righteousness, sword of the Spirit, the belt of truth, the helmet of salvation, and tie my shoes with the readiness to share the good news. It's the shield of faith and breastplate of righteousness, sword of the Spirit, the belt of truth, the helmet of salvation, and tie my shoes with the readiness to share the good news. It's the shield of faith, the breastplate of righteousness, sword of the Spirit, the belt of truth, the helmet of salvation, and tie my shoes with the readiness to share the good news.
What time is it? Quiz time!
Who did David trust in order to win the battle? A. His father. B. The captain. Or C. God. C. God. How do you think David was? A. Silly and afraid. B. Lazy and bad. C. Obedient and courageous. C. Obedient and courageous. What part of David's armor did the shield represent? A. Sin. B. Faith. Or C. Love. B. Faith.
Kids, it's time to say goodbye. No olviden de conectarse el próximo domingo a la misma hora. Don't forget to invite your friends. Recuerden, be obedient and courageous like David. See you next time. Bye.